What's going on, everyone? John Danes here. Super excited for today's video. I'm here with my man, Amar. We're going to be doing kind of a client interview. And as it stands right now, kind of the way to work with me at Appointments.io is it's private consulting. It's all one-on-one based, kind of me diving in and helping you grow your business. And I've done this with Amar, and he's had a pretty awesome transformation. So I want to kind of just talk to him about his experience today. And yeah, so with that being said, how's it going, man?
Good, my brother, man. What's going on? How's everything?
Not a whole lot, man. Is it cold in Canada right now?
Actually, it's surprisingly pretty warm. We don't have any snow on the ground. We had a little bit of a winter stretch and had some snowfall, but you know what? Our temperatures kind of in the plus right now, so
Yeah.
we're surviving. But yeah, everything's been great, bro. Everything's been great. It's been a crazy month so far. I've been about a year in the game.
Cool.
Obviously, a lot to learn about, and a lot of trial and error, obviously,
Yeah.
but coming in and kind of just stretching out and fixing my appointment-based appointments in the way I kind of wanted to bring my volume in. I wanted to train my team and I wanted to bring that volume as well. So I reached out to John. John obviously gave me some linear information as to how I can bring that consistency in with my agency. And it's been a great stretch so far. We've done about 10K in cash collected just in November, and that's just us getting things warmed up. And I'm still seeing some increase and more gaps that I can, continuously fill with my appointment setting systems. But
Yeah.
John's obviously helped really give me a proper collection of how to keep things
Yeah.
simple and obviously just maneuver, right? So I am kind of trying. I'm seeing obviously the compound effect that's happening in my agency right now. Keeping my feet on the ground, not getting too excited, not putting too much emotions in, and yeah, things have been great so far.
That's awesome, man. So what's, I know you said 10K in cash last month. What's your current MRR as it stands right now? What are you at in monthly recurring revenue?
Right now, we're standing anywhere between 7 to 10K on
Okay.
on a consistent basis, but I'm not looking to dip anywhere down below 10K anymore. Obviously, with things that are getting more strong, and
Yeah.
my appointments have been increasing every week as well too. We're doing anywhere between 15 to like 20 now every
Yes.
week.
Great.
Which last month we were doing anywhere an average of like maybe 7 or 10, which was like it was an off for me as well too. But we're starting to dive in and really get used to speaking to new people all the time, and
Totally.
just forgetting about the people that are obviously not ready to make a decision with us,
I love it.
because it's been there's a lot of fish in the sea, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been just obviously shifting that paradigm and just getting used to speaking to new people, and obviously getting over the fact of not getting too emotionally involved with one sales cycle.
Yeah.
If an individual is not ready to move forward, we simply just do our due diligence, and we never force any of our clients to come and on board with us. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a great stretch. I also wanted to point out that we're all
Yeah.
obviously to the viewers and everyone that's watching right now, that me and John have a similar service delivery and similar niche as well.
Mhm.
My background's in real estate and finance, and we've definitely had some solid conversations as to how to keep the service delivery for agents and brokerages in Canada a solid service delivery. So me and him had definitely gone back and forth in terms of how to stretch out and create a team outside of just Canada. And we have a good solid team behind us in the Philippines now. And it's been great outsourcing and just connecting and growing with my team,
Yeah.
because um, really, to scale your own agency, it's really not a one-man show. You really got to have a team that's handling each element of your service delivery, your client acquisition, and your appointments as well. So once you start to understand that these are the fundamental aspects of just running an agency, you start to understand that some things you got to let go. You can't have control of everything all the time.
Yeah.
But we do, just on a singular level, I take care of all my appointments and sales for now, but we're definitely heading towards a solid projection for the New Year's.
That's awesome, man. So, I talk about it all the time. If you have a good system in place where you're going to be able to onboard people and get them results, which when you're starting an agency, I mean, that's pretty much fundamental. You should at least have a clear idea of who you're going to help and what you're going to help them with. Then it just really comes down to putting appointments on the calendar and closing them. And, I have people reaching out to me all the time that are like, hey man, I'm just not booking enough appointments. Like that's really what I feel like my problem is. And I think that most agency owners don't understand, like you have to get in front of more people. Uh,
Yep.
Especially on like a new offer. I mean, I think you should take at least 30 to 50 calls before you try to change anything. And you
Oh,
have to
for
be
sure.
putting a lot of people on the calendar to do that. Most people aren't doing that in a, 3 months. So yeah, man, tell me a little bit about, cause I know your kind of thing was you wanted to knock down service delivery. And I think I was able to give you some pretty good input on that, but you
Yeah,
wanted
for
more
sure.
appointments because it's like, you got to get
Yeah.
appointments to make money. So how many appointments were you doing on a weekly basis before you started working with me?
Yeah, so we were doing, honestly speaking, with I had some employees doing some appointment setting, but when I came in and I saw the way you had your approach,
Yeah.
and the volume that you were stretching out and the specific social media platforms that you were telling me to hit, I kind of had the similar systems. I was doing something similar, but I was anywhere between 5 to maybe 7 appointments
Yeah.
on a good week. You know what I mean?
Okay.
On a good week, and you know what? Those appointments, um, my ability to hop on and take those appointments seriously as well too, and just be less emotion tied. It all tied in. So I was doing maybe less than half than what I'm putting out right now,
Okay.
so everything doubled, like literally
Really
times
good.
two. So obviously, it was a lot of mindset barriers that you helped me unlock as well too, but a lot of fundamental formulas as well too that I overcomplicated,
Hmm.
and yeah, it really helped me kind of clear my vision up as to how I'm going to break down the 20, 30, 40K cash
Per
collected
month.
months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like we weren't doing too well. You know what I mean? Obviously, like the backbone of any agency should be a solid appointment system. Like if you're not talking to people on a regular basis,
Mhm.
like your retention and the growth of your company is just going to stay stagnant or go into a deficit. And that's what I experienced through the lockdown as well too. I was doing the service delivery. I was hopping on appointments, and I couldn't really figure out as to what was the main thing I should be focusing on, which was just appointments.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what niche you're in. Like we serve real estate agents and people in finance, but it doesn't matter who you serve. If you're in e-commerce or you help scale info products, whatever niche you're in, as an agency owner, if you don't have appointments,
Yeah. No
like there's
business.
no way you're gonna hit your monthly stats, and there's
Right.
there's no way you're gonna bring that car or that Bentley home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
100%. Yeah.
yeah, like honestly, you help break that down, and we're continuing to see that tangent, right? So it's a good thing, but it's definitely been able to increase ever since we did our couple of sessions together, and
Yeah.
obviously we're going to be working on some more things as well too. I'm definitely not at the stake that I want to be at, but things are so clear right now that I've really mapped everything out within
Mhm.
a month or two span, and we've been knocking down our monthly goals, our weekly goals as well too. So it's been great.
Totally. Yeah. And scaling your agency, it's so predictable when you can actually clearly forecast your numbers, right? So it's like I'm bringing on sales reps now and they're doing really well, but it's just a matter of giving them enough appointments and having those appointments for them to show up and close deals. So it's just kind of like if you don't have those appointments, you're not going to be able to scale your business predictably, consistently. Like it's a pretty simple equation. If you want to make a
Yep.
certain amount of money, let's say you want to bring on a client a week or a client a day or whatever the numbers are, it really just comes down to how many people are you getting in front of. And even if you're in, that's what we're working with private clients is the sales side and getting on calls and selling your offer. But even if you're terrible, like if you have 6, 7 appointments a day, you're going to get one person that's going to
You're
coast
gonna
in.
you're
And
gonna
yeah,
land somebody, hundred
yeah, you're going
percent.
to land someone. It's like, I think people get it a little bit twisted because they think you have to be this sales expert or you have to have everything really figured out on the back end. But it's
No,
just like
not
if
at
you can get
all.
in appointments and you can sell your services, like you're going to be ahead of 99% of agency owners out there,
100%, hundred
Yeah.
percent. And you know what? You know what? I'd like to reach out and just obviously I'm not at that stage where I can be like, hey, we're at, doing 30, 40, 50,
Yeah.
60K per month. And now, you know what? We're moving towards paid traffic. But that organic formula that you start to understand that, okay, I did this much meetings this week. Okay, I put this many offers in, and it turned into, X amount of closed deals. Once you start to understand, okay, this is X amount of, demos or strategy calls I got to do in a week. and this is the output that's going to come from that, then you start to understand that, okay, this is just a numbers game.
Yep.
Just like any corporation or enterprise, they have everything down to a metric where we're obviously not at that paid traffic level, but now when we're heading into and trying to understand what brings X amount of revenue every month, obviously golden service delivery is
Totally.
is mandatory. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like you
Yep.
really need to deliver a solid service and do your due diligence. But to keep it totally transparent with all the young agency owners or the people that are aspiring to get into this line of work, um, you obviously work on your way down. You got to jump off. You got to work your way down. So obviously, there's no way to understand how to do service delivery if you don't get your first client or get your
Yep.
first 5 clients.
Totally.
There's no way you're going to be able to take that data and understand where you messed up, or where the client may have gotten upset at, very micro things. It all comes down to just testing data, coming back and going back into the field. One thing I just want to outline for anyone that's obviously watching and just trying to just move into this field is just stay on top of it and just clock in every day. It doesn't matter if you didn't even get any appointments. If you're working on inside your agency for the entire week, just building your entire foundation out, stick to it and just build it out. And then just
Totally.
understand that you're going to go back into the business model or out the business model to get the reaction or, whatever you're looking for. But consistency and just clocking in every day, and just looking at all your metrics on a week to week basis, even to the time that you sleep and you get up and
Yeah.
how much time you're really putting into your business, whereas you're doing half work or doing full capacity work. Like all these things should be jotted down, because at the end of the day, if you want to produce like Amazon, like I'm just putting it out there, you know what I mean? Like you got to stay consistent every week, or you got to mirror your habits as well
Yep.
too. So um, obviously I've had some things I had to change on a habit basis as well too.
Mhm.
And things that I was prioritizing, because I just don't have one venture I work on. I'm an
Yeah.
agency owner as well too. Plus I'm a commercial lender. I work on the development side. Plus we're in the entertainment business too. So it's all about weighing what is more important. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So obviously, if you're obviously tying in down just with your agency, just put your time into it, write out your blueprint and really look at the things that actually move the needle in your business, rather than just working on logos, or I don't know, just wasting
Yes.
time on different posts and stuff like that. Really
Yeah.
focus on just speaking to people and having a solid conversations and bringing value. That's just the
Yeah.
most I can really say.
No, that's huge. And I think maybe we should speak to that a little bit, because I think there's a lot of people out there that are, they're not like, there's certain levels that you hit where you got to be prepared to do something. It's like the best example I can give, Joe Rogan always talks about it, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, because he's a big Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy. And this is all going to come back to a point here in a second. But he
No
says
worries.
if you start training Brazilian jiu-jitsu, then you should at least been working out for like 6 months. So you have to do a certain thing to be prepared for another thing. So I think it's like, a lot of agency owners, what they really need to dial in is like their headspace. I mean, I even get DMs all the time that are like, hey man, I have shitty habits, or I can't wake up in the morning, or I get afraid of taking sale. I remember my thing when I was getting started, I would just like wake up at noon, and if I had a sales call and didn't feel like taking it, I wouldn't take it. And it's like,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was one of the biggest things for me, was getting dialed in. So maybe speak to that. Like, what are some big things that you've dialed in to kind of
yeah.
get at a place where you're doing well with your agency now? Like, what do you think were some big mindset barriers that you had to break in order to kind of get where you are now?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so basically, just to kind of dial in on that mindset situation, um, I think 90% of it really, it doesn't matter what business model you're really in. John, I apologize. I have a
That's no
little
worries.
dog for the viewers
All
as well
good.
too. I got a little dog
Cool.
at home. So,
No worries, man.
yeah, so basically, the mindset situation, I think it doesn't matter what business model you're really in. If you have a trucking company, or if you maybe sell wine, or you
Yeah.
sell, I don't know, you run a nightclub, whatever it might be. The business, your psychology towards your business is really how like effective, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't
Yep.
know how to kind of fully put it in context, but your habits that you have on a daily basis and how you prioritize all these elements
Yeah.
is really what's going to push the needle forward. So
Gotcha.
like, even with the appointments that you're talking about, just to keep everything linear, I had the same situation. Even just now, it's like to the point where I'm just chopping down. Okay, I had troubles waking up at 9. You know what I mean? 9 a.m. So I'm like, okay, hey, I want to put X amount of hours more into my day, and if I can do that, let me spot in 2 more hours towards this specific situation. So when I started to do that, obviously it took me so much time. Like, it's so normal. Everyone wants to stay in bed. Everyone wants to maybe ignore that one sales call that's like right at 7 a.m. And you're just like, that's who's really going to be serious at 7
Yeah.
a.m. But you got to understand that there are already sharks that are clocking in every
Yeah.
day in the morning,
It's true. Taking
and
your
the
clients.
market is open. So
Yeah.
if we're going to be like, realistically, like, I don't like to talk about competitors because there's enough business in the world, but if you really want to be the best at what you really do in a specific demographic or niche or service delivery, you need to be the first person in that market, to be solving issues and speaking to people. So if you're literally just if you're just not clocking in at the proper time, and you're not taking this stuff seriously, like, the universe is just ultimately going to put you on the back of the line because you're not putting in that input at all.
Yeah.
Same thing goes with how you treat your clients as well too. It comes down to your attitude, how you carry yourself, how you carry your business as well
Yeah.
too, and what you're doing as a whole. So
Yeah.
honestly, psychology wise, like, that's just a small fragment, but I'm really big on just putting out good energy, manifesting and putting all my things down on a board, and really
Mm.
just staying scripted. You know what I mean? Really sticking to what I intend to do. And
Yeah.
so far, obviously things don't come aligned at the time that you want it, but I'm really just trying to
Yeah.
strive to be 1% better every day, which is a bare minimum. If everyone can just focus on breaking one small micro habit every day, or getting better just at one thing every day, you know what I mean? Like, it's ultimately going to get you somewhere further a month later. Like,
Totally.
you're going to be a new formula, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I like to say about that. Like, that's like psychology. It's like something like I see a lot of agency owners. I've watched a lot of videos as well too. It's something that you can continuously go and dive deep into it. Like, I don't want to go too deep, but you know how it is, man.
Yeah. Totally. I mean, dude, it's like, if you're not showing up and if you're not in the right headspace, like, it's going to carry into everything that you're doing. If you're not confident, that's going to, like they say, your business is a projection of you. So, like, I don't know who always says this. I think it's Sam that says, Ovens. He always says, you don't have business problems. You have life problems that bleed into your business.
Yeah,
So it's just kind of like, the stuff that you're doing, it's going to compound, and the effort that you're putting in, and it's going to work and pay out. And that's, yeah, it's super fascinating. It's like, you can't have one without the other. Like, if you don't have your head on your shoulders correctly, you're not going to be able to have success.
yeah,
And even if you're the guy that reads, 30 books a week, if you're not doing anything, those books aren't going to magically come help you.
for sure,
So
for
you got to
sure.
have a balance of both.
A lot of people like to obviously Snapchat, post Instagram
Yeah.
stories of,
Look what I'm doing.
look what I'm doing. Look what I'm
Right.
doing. I'm being productive. And you know what? It's crazy. I like to really speak on that as well too, is
Yeah.
because now we're living in a society where people are determining their standard of life or their quality of life based off of what these influencers are doing and what these celebrities, artists, I'm not going to name some of the agency owners, but the people that are out there showcasing a lifestyle which isn't fully catering or making the new consumers, the new people wanting to come into the market,
Yeah.
giving them a proper understanding as to
What it takes.
why that happened.
Yeah.
Like, why did that final product happen? Why is that
Totally.
verification check mark there? Why does their Stripe account look like that?
Yeah.
And why they're driving that, Lamborghini, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And honestly, what I'd like to say is that really stop showcasing like what we do as agency owners and influencers. Obviously, the only reason why we post is proof of concept and social proof.
Yeah.
At a minimum
For me.
standard, that's what I like to do, and I obviously don't like to showcase the entirety of what I'm doing, because what that is that before things are all coming together, I just don't want to expose the entire idea of what it is and how it's moving. I'd like to showcase the final product and only showcase results rather than me just building up to that. You know what I mean? But
100%.
people that are just getting into it, like, even if you just want to make the NBA league and you're just trying to get scouted, I'm not too
Yeah.
sure how the entire process works. Like, if you're going to continue to say, like, like, this is what's happening, this is what I intend to do, like, it's cool and all, but
Yeah.
you'd rather be putting that energy into real life, because the way it works, just because you put it on social media doesn't mean that you're actually
It's
putting
a
it out
reality.
there into the universe. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You'd rather have conversations with people, do real actions that have real output, like you getting engagement on a story that doesn't really truly depict who you really are.
Yeah.
isn't going to move the needle. And I realize that as well too, because obviously we're at a point where we try to find shortcuts as to how to get verified, how to, cut the corners, how to look the part just to
Yeah.
get the part. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And you can fake it till you make it. But you know what? Like, it's really just stay down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stay
Work
down,
hard.
just
Yeah.
do work. Yeah. Like, it's
Be
very
consistent.
simple. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Seriously.
think that's the biggest thing. It's consistency because there's ebbs and flows. Even like just taking it back to the idea of setting appointments. Like you might have a day where you set 7, you might have a day where you set 2.
Yeah.
Well, what's going to cause both those things to happen is consistency. It's ebbs and flows. It's ups and downs. That's business. That's life. So being consistent is really the number one way that you're going to get around that. If you do it every single day, you're going to come out with a pretty good result. So
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man.
totally.
Honestly, like, speaking to that, it's just like, it's been great. Like, you know what I mean? Like, things are going well. Like, obviously, like, things could speed up into where I really want them to be, but I'm very content.
They will.
I'm very calculated now,
Yeah,
and I understand that it's just raw patience, and not to kind of fuss about why things turn out to be that way, rather than just look at it and really dissect what happened, what went wrong in this particular situation, taking it back to the drawing board, and then bringing it back to the floor plan. You know what I mean?
totally.
So yeah, that's what I can say. Like, honestly, I really don't have anything else to kind of stretch out about. Like, if anyone's really looking to just get a good grip on how to kind of start their agency as well too, I'll definitely, recommend, reaching out to John, because he really knows what he's talking about. He keeps it super
Thank you, man.
transparent, really lean. And yeah, like, honestly, it doesn't matter where you are, because I've been around the community as well too. And you know what? He helped me fix a very I wouldn't say micro problem. It's the backbone of anyone's agency, but I obviously neglected it. So
Yeah.
when I came in, I told him what the problem was basically, and yeah, we went straight into it. After a week and a half, I told him, I shared the data with him, and I'm like, hey, this is what's going on, and that's it. I just started sharing my Stripe notifications, and that's really it. It was
Making it
supposed to be
rain.
there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, dude, I'm super excited to, see you scale, and it's awesome working with you. And I'm looking forward to kind of what we're going to do in the future and just kind of helping you break through more barriers and more places that you're looking to go with your agency, man. So thanks so much for the time today, dude. I really appreciate it.
No worries, my brother. And yeah, definitely looking forward to figuring things out in the future as well too, man. And we'll definitely stay connected.
100%, dude. Really appreciate you. And hey, for anybody listening, whether they're looking to start or scale their agency, the best way to do it is by booking and closing more appointments. So if you need help with that, reach out to me at appointments, just like it's spelled, .io, and I'll be able to help you there. So, all right, we'll talk soon.
Peace.
Peace.